Hey there, thanks again for joining me and supporting my channel. Today I'm going to do a brief video about how you can organize the instruments in your score. So this would be useful in the event that, maybe you have a lot of instruments and you just want to organize them in a custom way that supports your workflow. Maybe you are preparing or orchestrating score for an ensemble or a production like a play or something like that, and they have a particular ensemble arrangement that the conductor or the production company wants to have that score presented in. So there are a variety of reasons why you might want to change the score order, and you might even just have preferences for your own workflow. So there are traditional score orders for large orchestras, but those score orders can become impractical in the event that maybe your ensemble is really slimmed down or maybe even expanded. You might want to have a score, for example, that places the strings in different contexts relative to the choir, or the pitched percussion in a different place relative to the unpitched percussion. So those are some scenarios, and this is just going to be a video that explains how that feature works. So I'm working in Dorico Pro. This is the most recent, which I think is 5 something or other. Let's see what I got here. I've got 5.1.51. Okay, so I'm just going to dive right in. I am hoping that my mic stays on here. I'll be keeping an eye on it because the battery was running a little low. So what we are doing here is we are in, take myself off the screen here. This is the setup mode, right? As we can see up here in the top left corner, setup mode. And down the left side, we're going to see the individual players and sections that are included in this score. Now down here, for example, I've got, let me zoom in so it's a little more clear. Down here I've got an SATB choir. And so let's say that I wanted to position these SATB choirs on top of my string section, so that I wanted the strings to be the bottom thing on my score. Let's just take a look at kind of how that might look. If I were looking at my orchestration, this is just a little bit off topic here, but actually let's go back to Sketch. I'm using a template here which does not have an orchestration in it, but let's say that I have my violins all, or the string section rather, all selected along with my choir. And if for some reason the audio goes silent from the battery running out, then I will provide this video, upload it a little later. I'm recording a backup. Okay, so the next step here is to, why am I not seeing this? I think it's maybe because this also needs to be checked off here for both this flow and for the layout. Okay, so in this scenario, I want to make sure that my SATB choir is actually on top of my violins. So I'm going to go down here to this little arrow, and you're going to, if you click and hold, you'll see that there are some various choices here. These are actually manipulatable. So if we go up to our library menu and we go down to instrument score, or instrument families rather, we can start here and we can see the families that are set up by default and what instruments are within those families. And you can use this dialog to customize, say what you consider a keyboard and what you consider pitched percussion. Maybe piano, you want to have it in pitched percussion, or maybe you want to have it in keyboards. That is a choice that you can decide right there. Then you're going to come again to the library menu and you can go to instrument score order. And you can create your own kind of choice here, right? So if I created another one here that I called custom, and in this one I am just going to have my singers moved all the way to the bottom, and strings right on top of that, like so. And then hit OK. What we'll notice now is that if I go down here, I now have a custom option, and if I change that to custom, Let me see, I must have actually configured that incorrectly. If I go to score order and in custom, yes, I did. So I was adjusting the wrong option here. So if I go to custom here and I bounce my singers, my SATB choir on top of the strings and hit OK. And then I go back here and I select custom. Then you can see that the score order has changed. So the SATB choir is above the strings. This is also particularly helpful if, as I do here, you have a custom instrument. I have Easy Keys, which is a piano VST instrument set up here. And you might, when you set up a custom instrument, it's not uncommon that it just kind of gets put somewhere arbitrarily. So if you're using like a custom synth also, maybe action strings or some kind of phrase-based orchestral instrument, and you set up that instrument correctly in Dorico, you can find that it actually just gets put somewhere kind of arbitrarily. This is a great way for you to go back in and you can say, okay, under the library menu, I'm going to go to my instrument families, and I want Easy Keys here. I suppose is actually under keyboards. So there's Easy Keys, and I can decide whether or not it's going to be below or above piano in my score order. So that's another great example of where you might want to do this, is if you are working a lot with custom instruments, you want to make sure they're displayed correctly. So I hope that's helpful to folks who maybe are working on much larger or more complex scores. If you have questions, please post them in the comments. And thank you so much for joining me again. I will see you in my next video. And please hit like and subscribe if you are not subscribed. And hit like, it helps surface this video to a larger audience. And I'll see you again next time. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.